Greetings, everyone. Happy holidays. How are you doing today? Thanks so much for joining me. Please, if you can, say hello in the chat box and let's get started. So we have been doing our 12 days of DrawPaintMas, a term I made up in honor of the 12 days of Christmas with a naturalist take on drawing plants and animals and scenes that remind us of Christmas and the holidays and the winter season. And so I've been doing Christmassy things. This is really funny. You'll have to, don't laugh too hard, but I made, I made a really pathetic, what do you call this? A gingerbread house. And I have to admit, I did not make it by hand. This was from Trader Joe's. I simply assembled it and made the icing. Hi, Jolyn. Thanks so much for joining. So this is kind of my pathetic excuse for a gingerbread house. So that's what I did this morning. So don't laugh too hard. And while I was doing that, I was sipping some of my favorite holiday chai tea. And I was also playing around some more with yesterday's theme, which was the Northern Lights. And my new version is still drying, but remember that if you want to see any of the previous events, like yesterday's Northern Lights, which I turned into a greeting card, you can check those out. If you're on YouTube, you can check them out on my live streams, and you'll see all the other events we've done, like the poinsettia and the two turtle doves and the snowy owl and the, what was it? What else? Holly, the English holly. And then this. So this was really fun and easy. And I see Jolyn was here yesterday as well. So the Northern Lights are so fun. So I really suggest that if you haven't seen this one or the previous events, that go check those out. And if you're watching on Facebook, you'll just see them in my stream of content on the previous days. So yeah, tell me in the chat box if it's snowy where you are. So today, our event is all about snowflakes. And I do want to share this website with you. Let me get this one bigger. So snowflakes are really complicated, and there's so many different sizes and shapes and designs to them. And I found this incredible website that's created by a physicist who does research on snow and ice, actually, at Caltech, which is a big research lab in Southern California, I believe. And so if you want to write this down and do more research on the anatomy of snowflakes and how they form, the website he made is called snowcrystals.com. And he also has an incredible book on several books, actually, on snow and snowflakes. One of them is a coffee table book with really big, beautiful photographs of snowflakes. And I think another one is more about the anatomy of snowflakes. So anyway, check him out. Again, that's snowcrystals.com. And as long as I have these telling you about these other websites, if you've been enjoying my events and you're feeling tipsy during the holiday season, I would certainly appreciate tips. You can donate on my website at christineelder.com/donate. And you can donate by PayPal, debit card, credit card, and I think I even have Venmo set up. So even a $5 donation would really help. It would really show me that you're appreciating this content. And if you absolutely have no money, I totally understand it. I know all of our healthcare expenses, especially in the United States, are going through the roof. But if you don't have any money, I really suggest if you can share these events. I think there's usually a share button below these videos on both Facebook and YouTube. And you could share these events with people you know that enjoy nature and sketching and painting. I'd really appreciate that. Okie dokie. So please, again, if you can, say hello in the chat box. Tell us if you've got any snow. Please excuse my webcam. It's right above me here. That's the thing that's this big black thing over my head. But right now, I'm in Ashland, Oregon, which is South Central Oregon. And it's a beautiful, mostly sunny day. We don't have any snow. And in fact, the whole state has been unseasonably warm. I think a lot of the precipitation and rain and snow is going to the Midwest and the East Coast. So do tell me if you've been able to see any snowflakes lately, because that is, again, our topic today. And then remember the Northern Lights or Aurora Borealis was yesterday. And again, you can see everything on my channels if you want to see the previous days. Now, tomorrow, I think are pine cones, or maybe I'm doing fir or spruce. But anyway, they're cones in snow. And I think I'll have a little, like a little bell or ornament hanging from the bough. What does that sound like? So that will be painting again. So make sure you come tomorrow at noon or in the replay ready to paint. So with all your supplies, like your watercolor paper and your paints. Yeah, and we will draw and paint the conifer with a cone and the snow and a little bell hanging from it. Jolynn says, it's melting here in northern Illinois. Freezes up tonight. Oh, yeah. That is pretty dangerous when it gets warm and then cold and warm and cold and the snow freezes and it gets really icy and dangerous to drive. So I hope you're careful. Okay, well, today I try to mix things up every day and have a different medium related to our topic. And so actually, I don't know if you can see in the chat box. I'm just going to go ahead and add the website, snowcrystals.com, so that you can check that out later on. I'm not sure if you can copy and paste that. And as long as we're copying and pasting links, I will put the link to my website where you can donate securely if you're liking these events. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to do pine cones, and then I don't remember exactly what's happening in the following days. We're going all the way up to Christmas Eve, when of course we're going to draw Santa's reindeer. But we'll be doing Christmas cactus and Christmas trees and a few other things as well. Okay, and so yeah, let's get started. So like I said, I like to have things related, media related to what we're drawing. And so since we're drawing white snow crystals, I thought I'd put them on a blackish piece of paper. And I don't know if this is too glary or not, but yeah, so I'm going to use white charcoal pencil. And you could probably always add some kind of bright white with Uniposca pens or something. Tell me in the chat box what kind of medium you have. Okay, so now I am going to go back to, there we go. So here's my reference photos. And snowflakes are not frozen rain. They go straight from the moisture in the clouds to snowflakes. And a snowflake is just kind of a common term. It doesn't technically mean anything. It can be a whole bunch of individual snow crystals put together. But what we're actually drawing today are snow crystals. That's an individual snowflake that is formed. And, you know, snow is just so amazing depending on the weather. My favorite kind of snow is when they're really, really big and fluffy snowflakes. And those would generally be many, many snow crystals kind of adhering together. But when they fall really slowly at night and you can see like individual ones, you can almost pick them out as they float slowly through the sky. So that's my favorite kind. And it's amazing when there's a lot of snow on the ground that it's so insulated and so quiet you can hear a pin drop. That's my favorite kind of snow. And Jolynn, you said you have white charcoal pencil, white gel pen, and black multimedia paper. Great, you've got the same stuff I do. I actually just have some construction paper, so my paper isn't as black as it could be, but oh well. So anyway, here are my reference photos. And so if you later on check out that website at what's it called? snowcrystals.com, you'll see there are dozens of kinds of snow crystals, different shapes, but almost all of them are 6-pointed, which makes it pretty easy to draw them. Well, they're a little time consuming, but you can draw them. And let's see. So I'm not sure. I wish I could get rid of, there's no way to get rid of my face without taking away my audio. And so I think I'm just going to keep these crystals as big here. Let's see. So that's the really, well, no, they don't get that much bigger, do they? Okay, well, you're stuck with seeing my face too. But anyway, so I thought I would start with one on the upper left because that's kind of the simplest one. And I forgot the name of that. I think it's called a rhymed flake. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do that one. So we just first make a line down the middle. And then we're gonna approximate the middle of that with sort of a circle. This isn't completely scientifically accurate, but I'm trying to get as good as I can. Then we're basically just gonna put a cross and we're gonna try to make, I don't know, I'm just gonna freehand it. Kind of try to make it about the same length. See, I already got mine too long. And you know, this isn't rocket science. We don't have to make it exact. And then another one going this way. And yeah, I think yeah, I'm just gonna, it's a little bit hard to make it exact, but yeah, we're just gonna wing it. Okay, so again, this shows the 6-sided crystal. So again, we're doing the one on the upper left. And then what we notice is that they're connected. And then we're going to cut this little valley out of each one. And the sides, yeah, kind of like these are parallel to these. These come straight down. And these are sort of parallel to each other. It's hard to get it exact. But, you know, like I say always when I'm drawing, it's the process, not the product. And just the fact that you're spending time looking at something, trying to draw it, you are going to learn a lot about its anatomy, no matter if your drawing turns out very good anyway. And I think the center was kind of a little bit bigger. And I think I have an eraser somewhere here. maybe like that. Okay. And so then I noticed that in each of these triangles, there's a triangle kind of that comes down. Maybe about that big. And and then, yeah, it's kind of cut out. So we want to erase this part. So just drawing something, as you know, just gives you more understanding and appreciation for it the next time you see it, when it finally does snow. I don't know if it's ever going to snow here. Usually we get quite a bit of snow, and where I generally am in Bend, but yeah, I'm just trying to look more closely. Yeah, these are, anyway, I don't know. I'm not a physicist, so I don't understand the anatomy of snow as much as I understand like the anatomy of snowshoe hares. Now, in a couple days, we're going to be drawing snowshoe hares and Arctic hares, and I'm going to be using a toned paper as well. I think I'm going to use a gray because there are a lot of gray granite rocks where the Arctic and snowshoe hares live. So that'll be fun. And so that one will be, more anatomically correct, and I really understand their anatomy. These I don't understand as much. But anyway, now for fun, I'm just going to go and I think that's pretty close. Yeah. I think that's close enough for government work, as we used to say when I worked for the National Park Service. Maybe this part's bigger. I don't know. And there's probably some, you can probably see some, these are pretty transparent. So like if we had other snowflakes, falling from the sky, they would, you could kind of see them through here. So if this, it kind of maybe is showing that transparent. I don't know if that works, but when you want to depict transparency, of course, you have to have something kind of showing through. So maybe that's our snowflake. What do you think? Hi, Kat. Thanks so much for joining from upstate New York. Are you getting any snow? Like I was saying earlier, it's unseasonably mild, and I'm going to go for another hike. Yesterday, I went for a gorgeous hike in Lithia Park, and today I'm going to go for another hike after I have a couple Zoom meetings. I have Zooms with my students inside the Nature Notebook Club. That's one of the benefits of being in the club is I do one-on-one coaching calls with my students. Yeah. Okay. So next, let's try this big one. I don't know if I can show. I don't know if my mouse is circling. Can you see my blue mouse circling the biggest crystal? This one, this biggest one. These are called fern-like stellar dendrites. So that's what I'm going to try to draw next. And so, because it looks kind of like the fronds of a fern-like, and then stellar as in star, and then dendrites. And dendro kind of means like wood or branching. Kat, you said the snow is melting today. Yeah. Okay. So let's try that one. So that one, I hope you're seeing this if you're watching this on a phone, it's going to look different than if you watch it on a laptop. And I definitely suggest in the future, especially when we do the more detailed drawings of the pine cone in the snow and the Arctic hares, that you watch from a desktop or laptop and not your phone so that you can see the picture large enough. Okay, so let's do that stellar dendrite. So it's kind of the same idea. Actually, let's mix things up. Let's have a horizontal line. We're just going to look at this kind of twisted. Okay, and again, a center point. And so we're just going to make a horizontal line, and then we're going to make an X. I think that's a little bit easier to understand. At least for me it is. Okay, and then, so yeah, fern-like, because we're going to add some kind of fern fronds. We've got lots of ferns here in South Central Oregon because it's a lot more closer to the Coast Range, and get about 100 days of rain here compared to Bend, which gets about 50. But no rain lately. Okay, so see how easy it is to block in these guys. Now, tell me if you have been doing any of these 12 days of DrawPaintMas with friends or with kids in your life. You know, my favorite audience to teach for is kids, because you can really influence them about nature conservation, because you know, you don't really want to protect something you don't know about and or love. And so one way to, you know, learn to love something is to really understand it, and then you have more of appreciation for it and hopefully a conservation ethic for it. So I really suggest that if you have any kids in your life, go ahead and invite them. And again, they can watch any of the previous daily events in our 12 days of DrawPaintMas earlier in YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so most snowflakes, or well, we want to call them snow crystals to be exact, are called stellar dendrites. Again, from stellar, star, and dendrite meaning like woody branching, like the branches. So the fern-like stellar dendrite is a type of snow crystal or snowflake that has these little branching patterns, kind of like sword ferns. Yeah, Kat, you're on your laptop and you see photos of the snowflakes, but it makes you and your drawing very small. Is there any way? Yeah, I mean, I can make this bigger. I can make this all the way bigger, and we can kind of go back and forth. So anyway, this is the fern-like stellar dendrite snow crystal or snowflake. And so with that one, it's got kind of branches, almost looks like the branches of a fake Christmas tree. And they're pretty uniform. You know, like snow crystals, they're just really unique because of the way they're falling from the sky, and the, you know, the weather and the wind and the temperature. Yeah, Kat says that's great. Okay, well, if you want to see this instead of just drawing from the photo, that's fine. Now, you're as a member of my Nature Notebook Club, you get to have the high resolution booklet of all of the images from our 12 days. That's one of the bonuses. And these don't have to be too exact. But yeah, each of these branches, these 6 branches, are generally very similar to each other because they're all being exposed to the kind of the same sort of weather as this snowflake is falling from the sky. So yeah, here in Oregon, especially in the Coast Range, we've got lots of beautiful types of ferns. And when I drove here the other day, I drove up and over the Cascades, and it's just amazing. As soon as you get to the top and come on down to the Rogue River Valley, it's just instantly you get more mushrooms and ferns and different trees. Okay, so anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They always have these 6 branches. And yeah, let me just go back to, let me go back. Yeah, so they're not really exact. I was probably trying to make mine too exact. So you can have some that are longer and, you know, shorter. They're not exactly mirror images. And yeah, speaking of members of the Nature Notebook Club, another benefit is that you get more of input on what I'm going to draw. So when I suggested doing this 12 days of DrawPaintMas, I asked my students in the community to give me ideas of what they'd like to draw. And so most of the things we're drawing in these 12 days relate to what they wanted to see. Now in January, I'm having a really special event inside the Nature Notebook Club where we are going to be journaling about topics related to the life and work of Jane Goodall. And it'll be really thought-provoking and fun, and that'll be our big January event. So each month in the Nature Notebook Club, we do something different. Okay, I think that's it for that one. What do you think? Can we move on? Now these, maybe I need a break to eat some almond roca. You know, my friend Marley, you might watch Marley Pfeiffer in the Nature Journal show. He's always sharing some of his favorite chocolate that he's brought back from the tropics during his sketching events. Where is it? Oh, okay, so yeah, these charcoals don't stay sharp for very long. All right, so again, if you're just joining us and you didn't get to see this, I suggest writing down this website, snowcrystals.com. It's a very scientific website with lots of beautiful images and the kind of drawings of the anatomy, so you can see that a little bit better. And this is created by a physicist at Caltech in California. Okay, let's see another one now. Let's see. Oh, this one. Let's see. This one looks fun. I like the one at the upper right. And I wish I could get that bigger. Oh, well, that's a little bigger. See this? Can you see my blue mouse going around this one on the upper right? I'm not sure if this works. Sometimes I'm doing these lives from my laptop, and it works a little bit different than when I'm doing it on my desktop. Anyway, I think we'll do this one. And so thinking of the rhyme and the reason. So, you know, the more you draw something, the more you see it. Well, no, let's do this one because the contrast is better. It's easier for you guys to see. Oh yeah, no, I need to see it though. I need to see it. You don't need to see me. Okay. Yeah, so let's do the one at the bottom. And let's see, that one, it's another type of stellar dendrite. So it's tipped a little bit, but we're just going to start with this easy way of one vertical line and then sort of a circle in the middle. And then the X, that's the hard part, to get the X so that each of the triangles are the same. But again, it doesn't matter. I don't want you to worry about your product. I just want you to learn while you're looking at something. It doesn't matter how terrible your drawing looks or how unsymmetrical. You're still learning a lot in the drawing practice. Okay, and so I see that I'm trying to look really close at it because I'm blind. I'm going to make this bigger. Does that get bigger? Oh, it doesn't get it that much bigger. Anyway, it looks like there's kind of these, almost like a 3-leaf clover, at least in the. There's no such thing as the 3-leaf clover, is there? Well, no, there's 4-leaf clovers. No, most of them are 3-leaf, right? And then it's pretty broad. Now, yeah, this is always good practice to try to do something. Of course, I could make it easier on myself and move this. Yeah, that might be easier for me. So the more you draw, the more you know what you need to do. Yeah, and it's kind of broad here. And on the website, snowcrystals.com, he talks about whether it's an urban legend or not, whether every single snowflake is exactly unique, just like our fingerprints are exactly unique. I'll let you figure that out, find out that answer yourself when you look at that. Oh, what do you think there? And this one, I do see some, kind of like there are some sort of bumps. And if you could look at this under a microscope, it would look so much more elaborate. But it has some sort of bumps like that. This is also really good practice for drawing things, kind of mirror images and the left and right side of something and replicating something, which is a good skill to be able to do. It doesn't look too bad, does it? And yeah, I can make that one bigger. I don't know. I think this part is kind of bigger. Maybe. But who knows? We're just having fun, right? I mean, the whole reason I'm doing this series is to just give you some fun, right-brained activity to do, just away from all your responsibilities you might have of shopping and planning for holidays and dealing with stress with relatives. And I keep my holidays super simple. I do some baking, and I don't generally get a tree anymore, but I get like a Christmas cactus and poinsettias and that kind of thing. And I'll just try to have this time be a time of reflection, thinking more about the new year, what I'm going to do differently, what practices I'm going to continue. That one looks pretty good. What do you think? And I could even have this. If I wanted to make this a Christmas ornament, I could pretend this is a Christmas ornament hanging from the tree. There we go. So we just gotta have fun here. And yeah, I like to, if it was hanging from the tree and maybe there was a light over here. This is my sun icon today. Maybe I'd have a little bit more brightness on this side. Right? Because right now it looks a little bit flat. What do you think of that? That's kind of fun. Kat says, you like that approach to the holidays. Yeah, I'm grateful. Well, it's kind of good and bad, but I don't have any living relatives and I don't have a partner. And I just keep things super simple, no drama. I'm not going anywhere this year. Sometimes I like to kind of escape the holidays by going on a trip. One year I left Thanksgiving Day and I didn't come back till New Year's Day. And I went to the Galapagos Islands and the Andes of Ecuador. That was really fun. Yeah, that's fun. There we go. What do you think? Okay, how we doing? Are you ready to move on? I'm looking at my this is my new version of my what do we call it? Northern Lights. And I was going to put a forest right in here, but maybe we'll save that to the end. Okay. I know you're not set up for that, but I really love that. Okay. Let me see if we have another one here. Is there another one we want to try? Gosh, we did kind of most of them, didn't we? Any questions? Okay. Where are we? I think I'm going to go back to this because we've done the sunflowers. I mean, we've done the snowflakes. You can just keep working on your snowflake if you want. And I'm just going to show how fun it is. So this is see, it's going to look really cool. If you tape the edges, it makes a really nice border. And then you can frame it and make a smaller version if you want for a Christmas card. See how pretty it looks when you rip off the edges there. And Jolene says, was there a different name for the first one we drew? That one, I think in the website, it was calling it a rhymed, where is that? Rhymed snowflake. I forget the name. It wasn't really exact. But yeah, you can do your homework and look at that. Okay. So I'm going to just show you, since we got some bonus time here. I am going to just keep working on this. What am I doing here? It's kind of fun to be able to see the paint being mixed. But it's just amazing how different it looks once you get the forest in there and maybe a little bit of snow. And so I'm going to use a really dark purplish black here. It will, even though it's pretty a lot purple, it's going to read as black. And I'm just going to do some trees. And then I can add some snow. And you can see these are conifer trees because the northern lights. So these are going to be pretty tall and narrow. And we don't want to make them too exact. This one turned out a little bit different than the other one because I wetted the paper 3 times and really let the oops. I really let the water soak in. So this is the lightest part and this is the farthest away. You know, in a landscape, the top is the closest and this is the farthest away. Anyway, you can keep working on snowflakes if you want, but I like to make this have an area of interest. So this is going to be really sharp contrast between the pale, distant aurora borealis and the dark, dark trees. And so I think it makes it really fun. And I can make some trees in the back too. Don't want to make it too much look like a plantation. How's that looking? Can I make this bigger? Do you mind? So I'm just using a really dark purple, and I think I got some pyroline green in here too. But these trees are going to be backlit by the lights. Maybe I'll put some snow in the foreground. And they're kind of marching up this hill. And they're pretty far away. So not a lot of detail. And again, we want the star of this to be these guys. Now it looks like I got some sort of, this was an old piece of paper. It had some marks on it. I don't know if you can see those, but anyway. I think I like this one better than the last one. But yeah, I did this on purpose. And this was from one of my reference photos, is to have the area of interest. Maybe we can just have a hill down here. Right in the middle so that your eye is going down like this. And then I could add some snow. And my favorite snow is this snow. Now, if it was, I make my, I make stars the same way as I make snow. Does it ever snow when there's the aurora borealis? I don't know. Maybe it could be snowing close by and the aurora borealis is far away. Who knows? But I could put some snow anyway in the foreground. And I just randomly picked this fan brush. I don't know if it snows when there's the aurora, but closer snow would be bigger here. And there'd be little patches. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I don't know. Okay, maybe a few stars. You would just see the stars in the darker areas. Kat, you like the snow? Good. So yeah, in a landscape drawing, here's our horizon line, and everything below the horizon line gets closer to us, and everything above the horizon line gets closer to us, and this is the farthest away. So I'm trying to make it look like the aurora is coming towards us, and also really emphasizing these trees. And there could be maybe a little bit of texture in the trees. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe some texture. These trees are definitely kind of fading away, but that might be realistic. I don't know. I tend to work on things too much. I tend to get too detailed because my background is in scientific illustrations. So sometimes I just don't know when to stop. Okay. All right. So anyway, I think that's fun. So that's really only like the fourth Northern Lights I've ever painted in my life. So the more you paint something, the better you're going to get. And I might as well get rid of that one. I don't know how to make that bigger. There's just too many ways. Oh, well, forget it. So, the more you draw something, the better you're going to get, both because you're learning about your subject more and you're learning how to use your medium with watercolor. There's so many variables. In this case, I used the bumpier side of my cold press illustration, or my cold press watercolor paper. And so yeah, the other examples I did yesterday were the flat side of my cold press paper, as well as hot press illustration board. So everything looks different depending on the type of paper, especially the type of paints, whether you go in there really wet, and whatever you do like that. Okay. All righty. Great. Well, I hope you enjoyed doing some of these. We did a little snowflake ornament, and we did the fern-like stellar dendrite, and we did that one other one. Oh, I was starting to do this rimmed flake. No, that wasn't the finished one. Here's the rimmed flake that I was trying to show with the snow falling behind it. So, yeah. And then again, if you want to learn more about the physics and shapes and really be able to draw the snowflakes even better, I will suggest you go to snowcrystals.com, written by a real physicist who really knows his snowflakes. And also, if you're gonna enjoy coming to these, and if you're not already a paying member, I know many of you that watch these are already in my membership. But if you're new here, or if you've been watching things and just staying on the sidelines, not contributing, I really appreciate that. The more donations I get, the more inspired I am to do more of these. So if you go to christineelder.com, you can see a lot more about my website and what I do. And if you go to the donate page, that gives you options to donate via PayPal and credit card and Venmo and all that stuff. And it's all very secure. Okay. Well, I hope you don't mind that we finished off with me playing with the Northern Lights again, but they are just so beautiful. And again, you know, you just learn more the more you draw something. And just because you have, like me, I have a degree in scientific illustration, doesn't mean I can instantly be really high quality in what I draw unless I've studied it more and really played with different techniques of my watercolors and my papers. So yeah, I think tomorrow is the pine cones in the snow with an ornament hanging from them, I think, like this one. What do you think if I wear these? I can wear these as earrings. What do you think of that? Do you like my snow ornament earring? Here it is. Here you can see it better. Okay, well, I got to get going. It's a beautiful day, and I'm going to hike out to the pond. Yesterday, I saw some wood ducks and some ringed ducks and some mergansers, and also an acorn woodpecker and a flicker and a bunch of different sparrows. And so, yeah, I got to get out there again. So I hope you can join me tomorrow and for any of the other future days where we're going to do Christmas cactus and Christmas trees and, of course, Santa's reindeer on Christmas Eve. You can always join us live or watch the replays, but I really appreciate when people can try to join live and participate in the chat box. I know the chat is not enabled on Facebook, I believe, but folks watching on YouTube can chat. So I really suggest you watch these on my YouTube channel where you can see all the other ones, past and present and future. Okay, Kat, thank you so much. And Jolynn and Rita, great. I haven't heard from you for a while. I'm so glad you thought it was relaxing. And yeah. So I got to get going. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.